Have you ever thought, I wish there was more money to do more ministry? If you have, you're not alone. In the 15 years I've worked with Church Extension Plan, I've talked to many pastors who feel this way. Many pastors have vision to do ministry that they are not sure how to fund. In these moments, we need to think in terms of good stewardship. How can I leverage and use the resources that God has given to this church to provide more ministry? I want to challenge you with 5 ways to think outside the box that will help you generate more ministry to follow the call and vision that God has placed in your heart. First, think of ways to lease out your building. When a church building stands empty most hours or days of the week, can we really call that good stewardship? God calls us to be stewards of what He has given us. One way that we can practice this is by leveraging our building for ministry. Since most churches only use their building a few hours each week, consider these options to create revenue. One idea would be to lease your building to another congregation in your area that does not have a building. Many times church plants or ministries are willing to work around your schedule to use your building. Ask God to lead you to a group that has a need for a meeting space like yours. It will be a huge blessing to them, and it will generate lease income for you. Maybe consider leasing office space to businesses or other nonprofits. One church I recently worked with in Seattle leased space to 3 nonprofits that they partnered with, and also had a collaborative workspace for freelance workers that needed occasional working space. This helped provide money for ministry. Another idea is to find a daycare or home childcare business that could use your space and approach them about leasing. Rather than trying to start a daycare on your own, which can be costly, find someone already doing it and see if they want to move into your building. Keep in mind that there may be modifications required to your building to accommodate this, so do the research before committing to this. One church I recently worked with in Alabama found that by leasing space out to a daycare, it covered most of the cost of their mortgage. Finally, provide and market event space. This can include weddings, receptions, banquets, concerts, local school events, even basketball leagues if you have a gym. Figure out what your building has to offer your community and market that space for a rental fee. A second way to think outside the box is to consider a giving initiative or capital campaign. Giving initiatives or campaigns used to be a method to raise money for a new church building. And while that certainly still exists, the focus has changed in the fundraising world to be much less about the building and to be much more about challenging people to increase their giving to fund the vision of the church. This move has resulted in good stewardship, engaging your congregation to do more ministry. A giving initiative allows you to recast your church's vision and invite your people to dream and give additionally above their tithes and offerings to help accomplish the vision. If you need help, CEP can connect you with some great ministries that can serve you. Third, invest church savings to gain interest. CEP always encourages churches to have a healthy cash reserve set aside for unforeseen expenses that may come up or difficult days in the life of the church. However, too many churches have this money in a local bank that earns absolutely no interest. Churches need to find a safe place that they can put these funds and gain better interest rate on their money. CEP offers several ways for your church to invest its funds and gain a good rate of return. Fourth, restructure and consolidate debt and renegotiate contracts. Sometimes finding new funds for ministry is not about generating new funds, but rather spending the funds you have differently. Consider refinancing your church mortgage to find a lower interest rate or extend the years of your payoff. This will lower your monthly payment. Consolidate other debt and either pay it off or try to restructure it all with one lender at a lower cost. Additionally, you can renegotiate contracts. Many churches have copy machines, computer equipment, lawn care service, cleaning service, many other things that they pay for that can be negotiated. Consider trying to reduce these costs by negotiating for a better deal and better terms. A fifth and final way to think outside the box is to look for outside grants and donations. If your church runs a food pantry, a feeding ministry, a thrift store, support ministries for addicts or counseling service, or any ministry that is seen as actively engaging the community. There are usually businesses and foundations that are willing to contribute to this type of work. We can easily forget that people outside your church will appreciate efforts you are making to better the community. So don't be afraid to ask who will partner with you and help fund these efforts. I recently worked with a camp in the state of Washington, and they became very good at gaining grants and donations from the outside. This allowed them to improve their camp facilities and provide a great experience for kids and youth. At Church Extension Plan, we hope these 5 ways of thinking outside the box will help you practice good stewardship and help you find more resources to fund ministry in your community.